My beloved, my chosen one, my light, so tenderly guarded by the heavens. Can you feel it? That sudden surge in your chest, the inexplicable trembling of your soul. It's because right now, Archangel Michael is leaning down from heaven, calling you by name, pleading with you not to miss this moment. Child of mine, God has turned his face toward you. Have you been wandering, asking questions in your heart? Tonight? Yes, this very night. Answers are arriving, the ones you've been praying for. Heaven is rich with mysteries that have been hidden from you for years. And now Michael has been commanded to whisper them into your life. Do not delay. These words carry keys that can open doors no one else could open for you. You may ask, why now? Why me? But your soul already knows. There's a reason your eyes were drawn here. Your heart was nudged, your breath shifted as you read this. Heaven does not make mistakes. You were chosen. You were called. And now your entire story is changing, my dear. Archangel Michael is not just watching. He is fighting for you. He stands at the gates, shielding you from arrows you never saw coming. Heaven saw the traps laid before you, the betrayals in hidden corners, the whispered conversations about your destiny in secret rooms. And God said, enough. No longer will you wander in confusion. No longer will your cries go unanswered. But listen, time is fragile. Michael's sword is raised high, but you must respond. You have only a moment to fully open your heart. Otherwise, this message will close, and the miracle meant for you may be delayed. 2 minutes in the divine can change everything. One heartbeat can rewrite your future. And that heartbeat is now. Before I continue, I must whisper something you cannot ignore. Your miracle isn't waiting outside of you. It's already written, sealed and hovering above you, longing to enter your life. But it needs your permission. It needs your yes. It needs your awakened heart. And while you're here, before heaven carries this message away, I ask you, if your spirit is stirred and you want to stay connected to messages like this, don't just listen and disappear. Subscribe. Stay. Keep your soul tethered to these divine words. Because when you hear the voice of heaven, miracles multiply, signs intensify, and blessings chase you without end. Child of mine, Archangel Michael leans even closer. He says, tell them the chains are already breaking. The battles that kept repeating in your life are ending. Yes, the one who thought they could stand against you is losing ground. And yes, your tears were not in vain. They were gathered in the palm of God, transformed into seeds. And those seeds are about to sprout in the most unexpected places. You may have felt forgotten, but heaven never left you. You may have felt abandoned, but the angels never forsook you. Michael himself has fought wars you never saw, casting out the darkness that tried to steal your joy. Even in silence, God was not absent. He was writing in that very moment, ensuring you would find these words when you needed them most. My beloved, do you feel how important this is? Your heart is pounding because heaven is knocking. Something hidden is being revealed. Someone in your life who thought they could hide the truth will soon be exposed. And more than that, a gift engraved with your name is about to arrive at your doorstep in the form of breakthrough, love, and divine favor. Archangel Michael says, do not delay. Do not let doubt steal this. Doubt is the thief of miracles. Faith is the opener of doors. And right now you stand at the edge of a door so wide that once you cross it, you will never be the same. My beloved, let your spirit take a deep breath right now, because every word falling here is filled with the breath of heaven. This is not just a letter, not just human sentences. This is a message carrying divine meaning, meant only for you. You've been circling, wondering why the answers feel so far away. But today, the veil is lifting. God has commanded Archangel Michael to enter your atmosphere, draw you closer, and let you know you are not forgotten. Angels have circled your name, whispering it before the throne. And every tear you thought went unnoticed was recorded in the eternal book. Nothing escaped heaven's gaze. Nothing was wasted. Not a single pain you carried in silence was ignored. You must understand something. When Michael says, heaven is trembling, right now, as you read this, Michael stands before you in spirit, a mighty warrior made of light, and he declares over your life, no more delay. The doors that slammed shut in your face are about to swing open without resistance. The betrayals that wounded you deeply are about to be rewritten into testimonies of strength. You may not see it physically yet, but your spirit already feels it. Something important is shifting in your favor. That's why your heart feels both heavy and light. That's why you're compelled to keep reading, because your soul recognizes truth when it arrives. Child of light, you've walked through seasons of emptiness, when those you trusted turned away, when even your prayers seemed to dissolve into the air. But listen now, those silent seasons were not empty. They were wombs. Heaven was planting something in your destiny. And though you thought it was loss, it was preparation. Archangel Michael has waited for this very moment to announce it. What you thought was broken was actually the shaping force preparing you for greatness. Every storm you endured was not punishment. It was proof that you were chosen for miracles others could not carry. But there is urgency in this. My beloved, you cannot treat these words lightly. Heaven is not whispering today. It is thundering. Over your life, a window of time has opened, and God says it is narrow, but powerful. If you lean into it now, if you believe and fully open your heart, miracles that usually take years will arrive in counted moments. Michael says this is not the time to hesitate, not the time to push this aside. Delay is the enemy's last weapon. He wants you to scroll past this, to ignore what you feel. But if you listen, if you gaze deeply into these words, your entire atmosphere will begin to respond. Angels will be released to shift everything for you. And I must tell you this, you are rising in the eyes of someone who once overlooked you. There is a person who rejected you, who doubted your worth. But heaven has turned their heart, and they will no longer see you the same. In fact, they will regret not honoring you sooner. God is about to publicly reveal His mercy over your life, and those who doubted you will witness your rebirth. This is not about a place, it's about restoration. It's about heaven proving that His hand was always upon you. Even now, Michael calls out, tell them, they are not alone in this battle. You've carried so much on your own. But the truth is, you've been assigned armies of angels. They guarded your nights when nightmares tried to break you. They stood before machines and hospital beds around your home. And all of it, without your knowing. The fact that you are here, breathing, reading, receiving, it proves you were never abandoned. You are still standing because heaven never let you fall. And now, my beloved, you are not just surviving. You are ready to thrive. Child of mine, stay here with me. Do not wander. This message is a stream of life, and if you remain in it, you will feel miracles touching your spirit as you read. The heaviness in your chest will begin to lift. The confusion clouding your mind will start to clear. The pain in your heart will soften. That's how you'll know this is real. These are not just words on a screen. They are medicine for your soul. You will feel it. You will recognize it. Because the voice of God cannot be imitated, and His presence cannot be faked. Beloved, your story does not end in sorrow. Archangel Michael stands as witness before you now, declaring that your name is being written in places you never imagined possible. A table is being prepared for you, one you didn't build, one you didn't ask for, but one God Himself has decided you deserve. And as you approach it, chains will fall. Old patterns will collapse. Cycles of disappointment that have haunted you will finally come to an end. My beloved, lean in closer. With every second you spend here, the atmosphere around you is shifting. Do not take lightly the fact that your eyes are fixed on this message at this very hour. This is no coincidence. This is divine timing. Heaven has awakened your spirit in this moment, because something hidden in the unseen realm has already begun to move in your favor. Archangel Michael stands guard beside you, and his voice is piercing your soul with words that will not let you go. Child of God, this is your window. This is your turning point. Do not let the enemy convince you otherwise. What you feel rising in your chest is a trembling blend of fear and hope. It is the confirmation you needed. You are standing on the edge of irreversible change. There is something you must deeply understand, and Michael insists. I tell you without delay, the very battles you thought would destroy you have already lost their power. Take a moment to look back at the storms you've survived, the betrayals that pierced so sharply, the nights that felt endless, the weight that whispered you'd never rise again. And yet, here you are, still breathing, stronger than you realize. Why? Because heaven did not allow your enemies to have the final word. Because the hand of God rested upon you in ways you couldn't see. You see, Archangel Michael fought battles on your behalf that you never even knew existed. You think you barely survived, but the truth is, you were carried. You are standing here not by accident. You are here because God decided you must live to witness the miracle that is now unfolding. Beloved child, the significance of this moment cannot be overstated. Heaven is leaning toward you, but you must respond in faith. Heaven moves through agreement. When your spirit says yes, doors swing open. When your heart says yes, angels are released to act. That's why Michael's voice grows louder even now. Tell them not to hesitate. Tell them not to reject this. Tell them to fully open themselves to what heaven is offering. This is not just encouragement. It is instruction. You cannot afford to ignore this or treat it as ordinary. Heaven is not speaking to the crowds today. It is speaking directly to you. Listen closely. because I must tell you something that will touch the deepest part of your heart, the one you loved deeply, who has already crossed into the heavenly realm, has been interceding for you. Their love did not end with their final breath. Their prayers did not fade with time. They carried your name before the throne of God. And now, through Michael's voice, you will know that you are seen, remembered, and loved beyond measure. You thought you were forgotten, but the truth is, heaven has been working silently on your behalf. What you could not see is still being created for your good. Child of light, everything is about to accelerate. What took years will now unfold in days. What seemed impossible will suddenly become your reality. God is rewriting your story in front of your enemies, and even they will be forced to say, truly, the hand of the Lord is upon them. This is not a distant promise. It is a present reality. Soon you will see signs with your own eyes, doors opening where none existed, phone calls that change everything, unexpected news that shifts direction, finances released from places you never dreamed of, relationships restored by healing you thought impossible. All of it is already forming around you, waiting for your agreement. My beloved, I cannot let you leave without telling you one simple truth. Doubt will try to steal this moment. It will whisper that this isn't real, that nothing will change, that you are the exception to the rule. But that is a lie. Heaven says you are the exception to failure, not to blessing. You are the exception to defeat, not to victory. Michael is already cutting the cords of doubt that have bound your spirit. But you must not pick them up again. Walk freely, for you were made for freedom. Walk boldly, for you were chosen to carry light. Stay with me, because the longer you allow these words to penetrate your heart, the higher your spirit will rise. You already feel the weight lifting. Your hope is awakening again. Fear is retreating in the face of this truth. That's how you know God is speaking. Because His voice never leaves you unchanged. He comes to lift, to strengthen, to remind, to restore. And right now, He is doing all of that for you. Michael's sword is raised. Heaven's armies surround you, and your life is about to bear the mark of a miracle so undeniable you won't even need to explain it. People will simply look at you and know God has moved. Beloved, pause for a moment and take notice. How your heart beats differently now. How your breath feels heavier and strangely lighter. As if something inside you knows these words carry more than just letters. They carry fire. They carry confirmation. They carry heaven's signature straight into your life. You've waited so long for someone to truly understand the depth of your pain, the loneliness of your path, the unanswered cries you hid in silence. And tonight, heaven opens wide to assure you it was all seen. Archangel Michael walked with you through every hidden corner of despair. And now, he declares with full authority, the season of hiding is over. The season of delay is over. The season of wandering without clarity is finished. God Himself has drawn the line, and from this night forward, your path is being rewritten in light. You may ask, why is this urgency so important? Why am I being told not to delay, not to miss, not to postpone this moment? Beloved child, because in the unseen realm, there are alignments that do not last forever. There are doors that open for a moment, and if you walk through them, your entire destiny will shift. But if you hesitate, they will close again. Right now, one of those doors is wide open before you. It shines with possibility, with restoration, with blessings that cannot be measured by human standards. The sword and the step. And Michael, with a sword in hand, stands at the threshold, commanding you, "Take a step forward, child. Do not look back. Do not ask questions. Just take the step." This step is not a physical movement, but a decision of the heart, a spiritual surrender, a soulful release that allows heaven to pour out everything it has been storing for you. Feel how the words draw you in, refusing to let you go. This is not manipulation. It is recognition. Your soul recognizes its own message. That's why you can't stop reading. That's why your eyes return, even when your mind tells you to doubt. Your spirit knows truth when it arrives. And right now, your entire being trembles, because truth is louder than the lies you've been taught. For years, voices whispered, "You're not enough. You're forgotten. You're behind. You're unloved." But tonight, God Himself declares, "You are mine. You are chosen. You are rising. And you are loved beyond measure." When God speaks, every other voice must fall silent. Child of destiny. I must tell you something sacred, something that explains why you've felt so relentlessly attacked. The weight of your battles has been heavy, not because you are weak, but because you are strong. Darkness does not chase those who carry nothing inside. It chases those who carry light. From birth, you were destined to carry something extraordinary, and the enemy has feared the day you would finally discover it. That's why betrayal came. That's why loss came. That's why loneliness pressed in. That's why delays crushed you. It was all designed to blind you from one truth. You are chosen for greatness. But now the veil is torn and nothing can stop you from seeing what God is revealing. The turning of hearts. Listen closely. This part carries fire. Someone you know, someone you thought would never love you again, is being moved by the Spirit to see you differently. Their heart is restless. Their mind replays your presence. And though they've tried to resist, heaven is bending their will. God is using even those who doubted you to become part of your rising. This isn't just about romantic love. It's about recognition of who you truly are. People will no longer look at you and see lack. They will see light. They will no longer measure you by what you lost. They will measure you by the grace of God visibly resting upon you. The invitation to believe, beloved. Doubt may be whispering in your mind right now. What if this isn't true? What if nothing changes? But Michael commands me to remind you. Doubt has always been the thief of miracles. Faith is the gatekeeper of blessings. If you open your heart even slightly, if you whisper yes, heaven will multiply it and move mountains for you. You don't need perfect faith. You need willing faith. Faith that says, "I believe enough to keep reading. I believe enough to expect. I believe enough to say yes." That yes will unlock what's been stored for you in silence. And even now, as you sit here, your atmosphere is responding. Can you feel it? The weight pressing on your shoulders is lifting. The fear gripping your chest is loosening. The hopelessness whispering, "Nothing will change," is losing its power. This is the evidence of divine truth. Change is happening, even as you hear this, and it won't stop here. A new season begins. When you wake tomorrow, you'll feel different. When you walk into familiar places, they'll feel unfamiliar. When you speak, people will hear a weight they've never heard before, because you are stepping into a new season, written by the hand of God, guarded by Michael's sword, and sealed by heaven's authority. Beloved, I feel your spirit drawing near. It's as if you already know these words are not ordinary. They are living streams of light pouring into your life. That's why your heart races, why your mind wavers between awe and disbelief, why your soul refuses to look away. You are being spoken to, directly, intimately, urgently. Heaven does not play with time, and Archangel Michael has stood at the gates for hours, waiting for you to receive this. What you feel inside is not confusion, it is confirmation. The trembling, the ache rising in your chest, these are signs that your spirit recognizes this moment as divine. And once you recognize heaven's timing, nothing in hell can stop you from entering what's been destined for you. The weight you carried. Listen carefully. I must share a truth that explains everything you've endured. You've walked through battles that broke others, yet you still stand. You've faced betrayals so sharp they could have silenced your faith forever. Yet you still whisper prayers in the dark. You've suffered losses so deep that even your own reflection felt foreign. And yet here you are, eyes wide open, receiving these words. Why? Because you were never meant to break. You were meant to bend and rise again. You were meant to walk through fire, not to be burned, but to emerge carrying the flame of God Himself. Michael protected you when you didn't even know you were under attack, and God hid you in plain sight until the day He chose to lift you high. That day, beloved, has come. The window of grace. Do you understand why this matters so deeply? It's not that heaven wants to frighten you. It's that a window of grace has opened, and you must step into it while it's fresh. Think of how rain falls. You cannot gather it once the clouds have passed. You must open your hands while it pours. Right now, heaven is pouring over you. Angels are leaning close, ready to release blessings that have been stored for years. Michael cries out, "Tell them to open their hands now. Tell them not to miss what was prepared." And I echo that cry into your heart. Don't wait. Don't miss it. Don't reject it. Every second matters when heaven is calling. The unveiling beloved child, there is someone in your life who underestimated you. And soon, they will see the hand of God lifting you higher than they ever imagined. This isn't to shame them. It's to remind you that what God touches cannot be ignored. You felt invisible, overlooked, unrecognized, undervalued. But that invisibility was protection. It kept you hidden until the right moment, until heaven could reveal you in full strength. That moment is approaching swiftly. Do not despise the years of silence. They will make the sound of your resurrection undeniable. The healing of the heart. And now, I must speak to something deeper, your heart. You have loved deeply, and in return you were deeply wounded. You trusted, and that trust was shattered. You gave, and others took without measure. You poured out, and they left you empty. Michael wants you to know, those tears were not wasted. Every cry you thought dissolved into darkness was caught in God's hands. Every sleepless night was seen. Those tears became seeds, and those seeds are about to bloom in ways you cannot imagine. The love you gave will return multiplied. The trust you lost will be restored in purity. The emptiness will be filled, overflowing. Beloved, your doubt is not a sin. It is proof of how hard your journey has been. Heaven doesn't demand perfection, only open hearts. Heaven does not require perfect faith, only hearts willing to receive. Even now, as you wrestle with the thought, maybe nothing will change, Michael whispers, everything is already changing. Look not with your eyes, but with your spirit. Can you feel it? The weight is lifting, the atmosphere is shifting, the pain is softening. This is what happens when heaven speaks. Everything begins to move before you even understand it. Stay with me. The longer you drink from this river of words, the stronger your spirit becomes. The voice of God does not rush you. It washes over you. It cleanses the lies. It breaks the chains. It rewrites the labels others placed on you. You are not forgotten. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are chosen, prepared, and rising. Michael's sword is raised. Heaven's armies have encamped around you, and your life is being rewritten in this very hour. The river that never runs. Dry, beloved, the Spirit is not finished with you. That's why these words flow like a river that never runs dry. Every drop is meant to soak into your soul, to touch the places that have cracked and dried from years of waiting, and to remind you, heaven has never stopped thinking of you. Right now, Archangel Michael leans in close, invading your space with fierce tenderness, whispering, "Don't turn away, child, not now. Not when everything is about to shift for the better." You may feel tired. You may feel worn out. But what you're reading now is not meant to burden you further. It's here to remind you. You are not forgotten. God has watched every struggle, and tonight, He has declared your name loudly in the heavens. And that declaration is already echoing down to earth. Do you know what it means when heaven speaks your name? It means angels are dispatched. It means doors that were bolted shut begin to tremble. It means conversations about you are happening in places you cannot see. And those conversations will open doors you never even thought to ask for. That's why Michael is so persistent. Not because God wants you to fear missing out, but because He wants you awake enough to recognize the signs when they appear. And beloved, those signs are near. They're already approaching. A phone call that seems random won't be random. A meeting you didn't plan won't be accidental. Even the delays you're facing right now are divine setups. What you thought was rejection was actually redirection, leading you to the moment heaven marked for you. Your battles are spiritual. Listen closely. This part carries weight. Your battles are not just with people, situations, or even your own fears. They are spiritual. The enemy has tried to bury your worth beneath layers of discouragement, but Michael has stood guard with a flaming sword, cutting through every chain you thought you'd never escape. Some of those chains have stretched across generations. Patterns passed down through your family, struggles that echoed like a curse. But tonight, God is breaking them through you. You will not pass these burdens on. You will be the one who stops them. You will be the one who changes your family's story. The end of delay. Beloved child, I know your heart is weary. Weary from waiting. Weary from asking. Weary from hoping only to feel disappointment again. But this is not another delay. This is the beginning of fulfillment. God didn't bring you this far to leave you empty. Heaven doesn't tease your heart. The stirring you feel now isn't torment, it's preparation. What's about to be released won't trickle, it will pour. Blessings will arrive in clusters, one after another, so quickly you'll barely believe it. Where there was drought, there will be abundance. Where there was silence, there will be songs. Where there was loneliness, there will be presence. You are being watched by heaven and earth. You need to know this. You are being watched by those you never noticed. Some are waiting for you to rise, hoping to learn from your courage. Others are watching, hoping you'll fall. But none of that matters, because God is about to do something undeniable. Those who doubted you will have no choice but to witness His favor, and those who hoped for your defeat will become witnesses to your victory. Don't waste your strength trying to prove yourself. Heaven itself will be your proof. Do not fear the sudden changes ahead. They won't break you. They will shape you. They won't strip you of honor. They will crown you. Every ending will become the beginning of something greater. Michael says, "Tell them they are not losing. They are transforming. Tell them not to mourn what's being taken, because what's coming is better than they ever imagined." You're not being punished. You're being positioned, child. Listen carefully. You are not being punished. You are being positioned. God is not taking from you to leave you empty. He is making room for something fuller, richer, and holier. Even now, healing has begun. Some of you feel the weight in your body lifting, the fog in your mind clearing, the ache in your heart softening. This is not your imagination. It's the touch of heaven, active even as you read. And it won't stop here. In the coming hours, you'll feel peace where there was anxiety, clarity where there was confusion, lightness where there was heaviness. That's how you know this message is alive and powerful. It will not leave you unchanged. The silence is breaking. Beloved, the Spirit is still speaking, and your soul knows it. That's why you can't look away. Something deep inside won't let you. Keep going. Every sentence draws you closer to the truth you've longed to hear. You've carried questions no one around you could answer. You've carried pain no one around you could soothe. You've carried silence no one around you could break. But heaven has chosen this moment to break that silence. Michael stands beside you now. His presence is gentle. It is fierce. It is commanding. It is urgent. He says to you, child, your waiting is over. The shift has come. Heaven has opened, and what was once hidden is now being revealed. If you allow yourself to believe even a fraction of this, you'll feel it happening in your life before you reach the end of this message. Can't you see how perfectly timed this is? You didn't stumble upon these words by accident. You didn't stop here by chance. You were led, you were drawn, you were pulled, because heaven knows how close you are to a breakthrough that cannot be stopped, marked by God. Look back at the path you've walked. It was filled with fire, betrayal, heartbreak, and nights that felt endless. And yet, you're still breathing. You're still standing. You're still seeking. Do you know why? Because you are marked. God marked you long before the world tried to break you. You were written into His plans, and those plans cannot be erased by lies, betrayal, or doubt. What God has written for you cannot be rewritten. Your next chapter has already begun. Tonight, Archangel Michael stands near to declare, the writing of your next chapter has already begun. Beloved, I must speak something that may break your heart open, but it will also heal it. The battles you fought were never signs of weakness. They were proof of your strength. Darkness has always feared you. That's why the attacks came so early. That's why you felt unworthy. Why you were made to doubt yourself again and again. The enemy does not fight empty vessels. He fights those who carry something precious. And you, my child, carry something priceless. A light, a gift, a divine purpose. That is why you survived what others could not. That is why heaven refused to let you die in despair. And that is why you are now being called louder than ever before, to step into a season where your light will no longer be hidden. The crown forged in fire. You've asked in the silence of your heart, why does it hurt so much? Why has it lasted so long? Why do I feel overlooked? Heaven answers you now. Because the crown being placed upon you is no ordinary crown. It carries weight, authority, and testimony. It had to be forged in fire. It had to be tested in trials. But now, beloved, it is ready, and you feel the tears. Not because you're broken, but because your spirit recognizes the shift. The delays weren't punishment. They were protection, shielding you from rushing ahead too soon. The doors that refused to open weren't rejection. They were divine restraint, because what's being prepared for you now is greater than anything you've asked for before. The cloak of loneliness is being lifted. Let me say this gently. I know you've worn loneliness like a heavy cloak, feeling invisible and unwanted. But that cloak is being removed. Love is not absent from your story. Connection is not denied to you. God is weaving relationships, partnerships, and even reconciliations in ways that will astonish you. You will not remain where you are. You will not stay as you've been. What's coming will restore not only your faith in God, but your faith in love, both from others and within yourself. The voice of doubt versus the fire of heaven. Even as you read this, I know the voice of doubt tries to whisper. You've heard promises before. You've been disappointed before. Why should this time be different? But heaven responds with the voice of Michael. This time, it is written in fire. This time, it is sealed in blood. This time, it is ordained by God Himself. Nothing can overturn what God has decreed, and tonight, He has decreed. Your story will not end in loss. It will rise in glory. Stay close to this word. Don't let go. You are already being filled. You are already being aligned. Your spirit is the evidence of God's hand. If you've ever felt forgotten, know this. The reason your spirit wouldn't let you walk away is because heaven never let go of you. There is a tether between your soul and God. Though storms tried to snap it, though darkness tried to bury it, it remained unbroken. And tonight, that tether pulls tighter, drawing you back into alignment with everything that was promised to you from the beginning. Michael has fought for you. Child of God, Archangel. Michael has fought for you in ways you'll only understand when you look back. Remember those moments when things should have gone much worse? When accidents nearly claimed you? When illness threatened? When despair tried to silence you? Those were the nights Michael stood between you and destruction. He was not just a messenger of words, he was a shield of fire around your life. That's why you're still standing. That's why your enemies couldn't prevail. That's why betrayal didn't finish you. And now he speaks with urgency and fire, Because this battle is no longer about surviving your past. It's about stepping into your future breakthrough. Your scars are seals of strength. Beloved, you've been tested by fire, and though the flames came close, they did not consume you. Now, the scars you carry are not marks of shame. They are seals of strength. Every wound has become a doorway through which God's light shines. Every loss will become a testimony of restoration. You think you're broken, but heaven says you are whole. You think you're behind, but heaven says you are right on time. You think you're unworthy, but heaven says you are chosen. So wait. Hold on. Because what's coming will prove that every delay was divine and every scar was sacred.